Welcome to Amplifying Leadership and Tip Thursday with Tara. I am Tara Lehman, a partner, coach, and consultant at Twin Life Coaching and Business Services, of which Amplifying Leadership is a division. I hope to bring you some information or a key takeaway you can use to build, enhance, or grow your leadership skills with Tip Thursday with Tara. Today, we are talking about something that really eats up time, drains energy, and frustrates people everywhere, and something where I sometimes stay at home instead I was on D&D, do not disturb all day because my day was filled with meetings. So we're going to talk about how leaders sometimes sabotage their own meetings. But some of these tips you can see too if you're running a meeting and you're not a leader. It's the same thing. Watch how we sabotage our own meetings because we do it without realizing it. So if your meetings feel like they're really dragging, people are just getting way off topic and there's tangents going on and you're not getting anywhere with the meeting, chances are it's not your team, it's the leadership in the meeting that's the problem. So if you're the leader leading the meeting, it could be you doing this. There are 5 common ways where we leaders unintentionally sabotage our own meetings. It's not that we know we're doing it. And I want to share those with you today, as well as a couple of tips and, of course, a challenge for you. So the biggest issue is that we don't have a clear purpose or an outcome for our meeting. If you can't actually clearly state why the meeting is happening in the first place or what you expect the outcome to be, your team can't know that either. So we want to know why we're meeting in the first place. If the topic on your meeting request is, let's just check in or touch base, it's not a meeting with a purpose. And do you really need that? However, if you say something like, let's align quarter 3 priorities and assign champions and actions, that's a meeting with purpose. So before you call a meeting, just ask yourself some questions like, what decisions need to be made? What input do I need and maybe who from if I need it before the meeting? What will success and results look like at the end of this meeting? And if you don't have answers to this, then truly ask yourself, is this a meeting that I need to have? Next is taking over instead of just facilitating. Leaders, we often feel the pressure to run the meeting, quote unquote, run, or be the person who's constantly talking and constantly keeping things moving. But sometimes leaders take it over by answering their own questions or steering every single conversation. This does result in things like no team collaboration, no commitment, no ownership to tasks, and a very checked out room of people. Your job is to guide a meeting, not dominate it when it comes to being leaders in a meeting. So try this instead. Ask others to run parts of the meeting so you don't feel the necessary obligation to take over. Ask open questions, so questions that don't answer yes or no in order to encourage people to talk. Invite the quieter voices in the room and see if they have any additional feedback without too much pressure. And always pause before responding, just so you can see if your team is going to put any input in or to encourage that. For example, like when you talk less, your team will start to talk. Or if you ask those open questions, your team will give you some answers. It also allows them a little bit of time to think about what they might say if you do pause before you start taking over the meeting again. Another one for you is that there's no time boundaries. Yes, we've scheduled 20 minutes or half an hour for this meeting, but we just let it keep going. And, now it's been an hour and a half, and I have been there in those meetings. It is time wasters and it feels very disrespectful. So if you're not disciplined with the clock, and you are at least not having someone keep you on track if you're not able to see that clock, you're signaling to everybody that your time and their time doesn't matter. It's not valuable. We need to respect everybody's time. And if we book a half-hour call, we need to end it at half an hour. So every time, start and end on time. And you might say, well, how do I start if not everybody's there? Start if one person showed up, because eventually everybody will understand. If they show up on time, they'll capture everything. If they don't, well, they're not respecting everybody. We also want to assign time limits to agenda items and stick with them, especially if you have multiple agenda items. And then if you need additional time to talk about a topic or somebody has an off topic item that pops up, have someone create a list for those and simply say that, you're creating that off topic list and everybody can handle that after this meeting. Remember, it's about respecting everybody's time, including yours. And once you start respecting theirs, they'll respect yours. Another one is avoiding real conversations in these meetings. So some leaders do use these meetings to provide updates or share announcements or simple things that could really been done with an email instead of tackling some key strategic issues, for example. So when you do just give updates or announcements, that is more than a town, like less than a town hall, it can feel that people are there, but they're not really there, like they're on their phones or they're doing their mental to-do lists. You're talking at them instead of with them. So to do this, turn meetings like this into working sessions. If you have an announcement that, sales are way down and it's possible there could be layoffs, bring forward decisions that need input. We don't want to go with layoffs. What are your suggestions to boost sales? Do this with everybody, by the way. Sales is an everybody thing, not a salesperson thing. Talk through any problems that require that brainstorming and come up with some solutions instead of just sharing an announcement. And then name that elephant in the room. 10 layoffs need to happen if it's there, so that you don't have people gossiping and creating bad cultures. Facing it respectfully helps these real conversations happen. And the last one I want to share with you that is a pitfall is not following through. So you have this great conversation. Everybody has all these beautiful action items. We're all agreeing to everything, and then nothing happens. There's no next steps. There's no accountability. There's no follow through or follow up. That's when we all start checking out the next time you book a meeting, because what's the point? Why should I go? Because nothing happened. You've all been there. You know it. This is how you're going to fix it, though. Come out with what's decided. At the end, summarize what's decided and what the next steps are. Have clear actions with clear people responsible for them with clear deadlines, and then follow up or follow through and follow through. Follow up and follow through can happen by you or an accountability person that somebody has, or your admin person if that's their job. Meetings need to move things forward, because if they're not, they're just time wasters in everybody's calendar. And we all want our calendars to feel a lot more manageable. So all of these pitfalls are completely fixable, as I've mentioned, and I've given you lots of tips for this. The key is being very intentional about your meetings. So here's this week's challenge for you. When you do book that next meeting for your team, ask yourself a few things. Number one, is this meeting truly necessary? Be honest with yourself, because we don't want to steal everybody's time. Time doesn't change. We have to manage it. Ask yourself what the purpose or even the desired results are of this meeting, and make sure there's a purpose behind it. Ask yourself how you can facilitate and not take over the conversation. Are you going to ask open questions? Have a bit of a brainstorming in the agenda, things like that. And then even ask yourself, what does it look like at 30 minutes after the meeting? Does it feel successful? Does it feel good that you had the meeting? The answer is no, then why are you doing the meeting? So truly make sure meetings make sense, because they do suck our time, especially if they are useless for us. And one last little tip I'll give you is make sure the people in the meeting are the people that need to be in the meeting, not just the people who, oh, if you would like to come. That is a time waster. And if you would like to come, sometimes feels like I need you there to other people. So invite who needs to be there, share the information later with those who don't. Remember, great leaders don't just run meetings, they create clarity, accountability, collaboration, and brainstorming, and all these other wonderful things. It is a team meeting after all, okay? And this is how you're gonna make your meetings matter, and I'd love to hear how it's going. You can contact me anytime. If you found this information Helpful? Of course, we want you to share it with a colleague who is literally sitting through too many meetings like I used to be that go zero, nowhere, and help them gain a little bit back in their day because we all need time. And time doesn't change. I help leaders turn everyday small insights like this into a real world leadership impact with more clarity, confidence, and purpose. This quarter's tool, the Leadership Success Audit, is where you can uncover opportunities to improve communication, decision making, and even see how you're doing with team performance, energy, and focus. The link to this will be in the episode summary. That is our Tip Thursday for this week with Tara. If you or someone you know is struggling with leadership priorities to building those strong, empowered teams, I'm here to help. Please visit our website for more information on programs and coaching and other services at amplifyingleadership.ca, a Twin Life Coaching and Business Services division. Until next time, remember, leadership matters.